Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Whale Nerds podcast. This is episode number 112. My name is Slater, and I'm here with Adam and Caitlin.
What's up?
Hello.
And we're back out of the fog, all of us.
Well,
It's Fog City Central.
Foggy for Adam, was it?
It's been
It wasn't
overcast.
foggy, but it's been super overcast. We've had a couple of days of fog. Today was my one day off, so I sat at home all day.
We'll pretend
Did
you were
nothing.
fogging it.
Yeah, exactly.
We were lost in the fog today.
We weren't really that
Hey.
lost, though.
Sometimes it's kind of nice to be lost in the fog. It's like very soothing, like that.
No, it
moody
was
vibe.
cold.
It was freaking cold.
Yeah, it's funny.
It
My
was cold.
my passengers today were here. They were on my boat yesterday, and they had like backpacks and like extra gear with them. Then they came today, no backpacks, no extra gear, and they're like, "Dang, I should have my puppy."
Yep.
I should've
Always
wore
bring a
my-
puffy.
I should have worn my other puffy. That's warmer.
Yeah, you had just the vest puffy on.
Yeah.
I
Bad call.
I saw you this morning, and I was like, I felt like I didn't. I felt like I didn't have one on. I swear, the puffies get like thinner by the year. You know,
Oh yeah, yours is looking pretty thin.
this is thin. It's
You're
brand
ready
new,
for
too.
an upgrade.
No, it's brand new. I just need to get a real deal one.
I just bought one with the hood, a little pat of gooch with the hood. It's so much better than without the hood.
Yeah, I don't know why you ever
actually
buy
keeps me
one
warm.
without the hood.
Because they're cheap. They're $100.
Brought to you by Shmonia.
Yeah,
Yeah.
full puffy jacket doesn't have a hood, but it's because it's the inside liner to a rain jacket.
Yeah.
So
I take a little sponsorship from Patagonia.
We bought Helly Hansen's for the boat, and they're super nice. They're like completely wind resistant. They
think
got like
you're
that
yacht
nice
guys?
fleece. Yeah, we're literally the other company across from us all wear Helly Hansen's, and they're like yacht holes. And now I kind of feel like a yacht hole, but whatever.
You look like one too.
Yeah, I'm sure I do.
especially with that jacket on.
You know what? Keeps me warm.
I can
Sure.
spot it from a mile away. I'm like, oh, I'm wearing Helly Hansen's.
They're nice, man. Not gonna lie.
No, I think I see Arc'teryx a lot now. Arc'teryx and
Yeah.
there's one more I see a lot. Oh, the like Canada Goose one or whatever.
Oh yeah,
Huh?
Those are both bougie brands.
yeah.
They're like, dude, they're like windbreaker for the Arc'teryx is like $350 or something.
Dude, that's crazy. I can't do that. Anyways, okay, enough about our clothing.
Welcome to the Clothing Nerds podcast.
Thanks everyone. We always like to start our episodes with a thank you for everybody who supports us, whether it's on Patreon or going on a trip or just listening to the podcast or rating or reviewing it somewhere or telling a friend to listen to it. We appreciate all the support in whatever way, shape, or form you give it to us. We really wouldn't be able to do this without you. So thank you all. And if you want to see ways to support us or just keep up with what we're doing, in addition to listening to the podcast, you can always check out our website. It's the whales.
The whales.
The
Yeah, the
The
whales.
whales.com.
Dot waffles.
Whalenerds.com. I got lost in the sauce there for a second.
Yeah, you definitely
you can
did.
see our blog. You can see merch. It also has a link to our Patreon page. And you can also learn about our trip in October for San Juan Islands. And you can sign up for the trip on the website too.
Again, that's thewhalenerds.com.
Not thewhales.com. We are
The Whale
people.
Nerds.
We are
The
nerds.
Whale Nerds. And you can also watch our the video version of each episode on our YouTube channel. So if you want to see the weird faces we make at each other or whatever, then you can get on our YouTube.
Do it.
Okay.
So basically, you're telling me you got all the sightings, Caitlin?
I mean, if you want,
Hit them with the
You-
sightings.
you hit them with the sightings.
No, I haven't seen very much.
Oh
Yeah,
my
okay.
god.
Yo, pick
Adam,
a day,
you go
any
first.
day.
Adam, you go first.
Yeah, Adam, you
Yeah,
go.
I
You
feel
saw-
like- I
you
feel
saw
like
something
I should go
exotic,
first.
dude.
Wait, what did I see?
I'm just kidding. It's got kind of
I
exotic.
was like, did I miss something?
I saw a couple exotic things. Like a tufted puffin, two tufted
Well, I
puffins.
guess it's
Well,
exotic for your area.
Yeah, we'll give it to you, but I don't
It's
even
been,
know like how far they go south, but
That's what
that's
I'm
cool.
saying. Like they definitely haven't been here for years. As long as I've worked here, I've never seen one. We've never seen one. But that was super cool. it was funny. Like I just saw Lee's video from the San Juan Islands of like a really beautiful slow-mo video of a tufted puffin. And I was sitting there on the fly bridge and I saw like this little black bird from like after a whale went down. I saw this little bird and I was like little blob. And I was like, oh my God, what is that? And like I jokingly said, it's a tufted puffin to Devin. He's like, are you serious? And I'm like, nah, I'm kidding. And then I took a photo of it and I was like, oh my God, it's actually a tufted puffin. And then I ran downstairs to take
Adam, you
pictures of
probably
it.
said, oh my God.
Careful there. You're gonna blow out your new
Oh
microphone doing
my
that.
God.
So that was super cool. I've never seen one on the channel, so and to have two was pretty cool. Again, I have no clue why they're here or why they show up. It's pretty far south, but that was super nice.
Do you ever see other auklets like Cassin's auklets
We
or
see
rhinoceros
rhino auklets for sure. I never see Cassins down here.
I think they nest on the Farallones, right? There's some tufted puffins over there
Yeah.
or something. Yeah.
Yes.
So I mean, it's not like technically that crazy.
I made the post and everybody was like, oh my God, in the Santa Barbara channel, there's tufted puffins. Do they come from Ireland? And I'm like, no.
No, those are Atlantic puffins.
Those are
Those are
different puffins.
completely different.
Yeah. People are funny.
I mean, even up north towards Oregon, there's two species of puffins once you get up that far.
What's the other one?
It's like, let me Google it.
You Google, I'll keep talking. The whales have been super good in Santa Barbara. We've had probably about a dozen hanging out right in front of Santa Cruz Island. They feed on the 07 line, which is typically where our blue whales feed. But it's super cool that they're out there. And it's been really nice the last week, just like flat, calm, gorgeous conditions. So the humpbacks are back. That's been super nice. And we've had some commons as well. I had probably the coolest pot of common dolphins I've ever seen in my entire life. Like we found them right towards the end of our trips, like 2 days ago. And as we rolled up on them, like you could kind of feel that they were going to stampede. I don't know why, but like they just kind of got quicker and quicker and quicker. But huge pod, like 2,000 dolphins, gorgeous blue water. And they just took off. And for 20 minutes, no kidding, 20 minutes at 20 knots, 17 knots, they were just gunning it. And that is like the coolest thing ever, to see that many dolphins exploding out of the water.
It's kind of funny when they do that.
And again, it's just like it randomly happens. Like there's no really trigger. Like people say they're always like running to something or running from something. Like maybe they had a big school of bait out in front of them. I have no clue. It was just crazy. It was
I've seen them do it where they just go like 10 feet and then stop though. Like,
yeah, that's typically what I see is like they'll stampede for 45 seconds or something, but for 20 whole minutes nonstop at 17 knots, like it was honestly one of like the most moving things I've ever seen out in the ocean. It was pretty spectacular.
well, they were moving all right.
They were moving all right.
I've seen them do. I mean, I don't know. I don't remember how long it was, but I've seen it like going to Catalina where they're just sticking with you the whole time. They're just zooming. That's pretty awesome. People don't get it, but common dolphins are one of the best things to watch out in the ocean.
Commons are so freaking cool.
They're
like
underrated for sure.
They're so underrated. People always want to see whales, but the dolphins, at least here in Santa Barbara, are typically like the best part of the trip. People really love them. So,
I mean, they're definitely a crowd pleaser.
Yeah, that's for sure.
They're more exciting to look at.
It's just that whales are big.
Yeah, the whales are big, and sometimes they do really fun things. But like,
for sure,
dolphins close to the boat, people are like, "Oh my gosh!"
Yeah, especially when like on the Condor, you can just like look like on all boats, you can look straight down on them, and people really enjoy like sitting on the bow and looking at them. So,
and they're usually
that was super cool.
Pretty good for a bow ride, like.
Oh, commons love it. They're not like
other
Rizzos or anything.
species. It's like real hit and miss, but commons are always like into it.
Yeah, for sure.
So
that's been Santa Barbara whale watching. What's going on in Monterey?
Okay, well, I have the puffin update. I didn't want to say it without verifying it on Google. It's a horned puffin and the tufted puffin once you get up towards Oregon and Washington. And then in Alaska, I think they mostly see horned puffins.
What does a horned puffin look like?
They look a lot like the Atlantic puffin, like the people are saying off the coast of Ireland and stuff. They look like those.
Yeah,
like the ones that are in Iceland.
They're cool looking.
Yeah, more like the white belly and then like the multicolored bill.
Yeah, they
Dude, I
look
want to see.
way
I want to see one
cooler.
of those.
Yeah, the puffins that are
puffins
in
or whatever.
Iceland are
Maybe
way
we'll
cooler.
see one in San Juan Islands.
Oh yeah, I forgot we're going there.
It's definitely not birds, tufted puffin or horned puffin season in October, but who knows?
Oh. Hey, you never know.
I forget when it is.
It's in the spring, I think, when they're nesting.
Dude, now I feel bad for the tufted puffin. They're just like
And they're
nobody
on
really
some
cares about
island
them.
that's far away. Like I know they don't always go there unless it's like there's killer whales around it and they go that way. I think.
Well, we will find out when we get up there.
Well, Caitlin, what'd you see?
Whales.
Nice.
Nice.
Let's see. When was the last time we talked last week? So I've seen loads of humpbacks. They've been just like camped out in front of Moss Landing Harbor, and the Monterey boats haven't even come up to us because they have their own whole cohort of whales down there.
Mhm.
So like there's got to be 150 to 200 humpbacks in all
What?
of Monterey Bay.
Can't even count that high.
Yeah. I mean, across all of Monterey Bay. I mean, I'd even count down to like Point Lobos. From between Point Lobos and Davenport, there's probably 150 to 200.
So many
humpbacks.
whales.
Yeah.
Wow. Is that the most you think you've ever seen?
No.
I've seen them all concentrated in one area before.
Yeah, but you
Not-
think like is 200 a lot of
You know,
whales?
Today
Yes.
kind of
But I've seen
reminded
them in
me.
like a 5-mile radius, 200 whales before.
Gotcha.
Today kind of reminded me of when I came up here in 2015, like because it was overcast and like there's whales kind of like when we were all stopped like in a line and there was whales like tail slapping,
Yep.
lunging,
Yep.
breathing underneath all of our bows at the same time.
Yep.
Like
Yep.
we didn't even have to move and there was a whale everywhere.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
literally everywhere. So
Yeah,
yeah,
it
what
was-
else you see?
It was pretty incredible. We did still see blue whales off and on since the last podcast episode. The last sighting was like 2 or
Mhm.
3 days ago.
One of the
Sunday.
boats said they had
No,
like a dozen of
Monday.
them.
Sunday there was still a lot around. We had really good looks at 4 or 5 different ones, and then we could see more blows around in a couple different directions over the course of several miles. So I'd believe there was 8 to 10 at least. And then that next day, I think on Monday, there was one. And I don't know if like we just didn't go far
See ya.
enough or
And then
like,
I went the next day and there
what?
was none.
yeah.
See ya.
So, but for them, it's like 10 miles
Don't worry,
further
they're not coming.
offshore
They're not coming to you.
is nothing. And for us, it's everything. Like they could just be,
Oh, they're at. Oh wait.
yeah,
They're literally 4 more miles and
another
nobody's
couple
going there.
miles out. And like we already are over 10 miles from the harbor. We're not going to keep searching, like.
Where they've been is
Especially
the
because it wasn't that
extent
nice of weather.
of everybody's range.
Yeah.
So like, I mean, people could push it further, but it's like,
Why would you do that when you have 100 humpbacks?
yeah. So it's kind of like,
Well, and especially because earlier this week it was still really rolly. So like your people are all
Yeah.
getting seasick and are like, "Are we gonna turn around?" And it's like,
Yeah, there's no
unless
point.
it pays
You
off with a
wanna
blue whale,
see-
you're like, "This was a mistake."
Yeah, for sure.
yeah, it's like, do you want to check off the largest animal on the planet,
Yeah.
or do you want?
And I keep forgetting to say
Turn around.
this. I tried to set it up on Sunday, but I was driving the boat and because we saw sea otters and I was like, I know we're gonna find blue whales. So I was like, this is the smallest marine mammal in the world, southern sea otter. And then we got to the blue whale and I didn't like circle it back around that like in 4 hours we saw the world's largest and the world's smallest marine mammal in the world.
I never even
Rookie
thought of that.
mistake.
Same 4-hour trip. I was like, oh, I messed it up.
Maybe next time.
So anyways, I think that's
I don't know,
pretty
dude.
cool.
That's like, where else can you see that?
Nowhere.
Like, where
At a-
else can you actually see
professional-
150 humpbacks and a dozen blue whales and Rizzo's dolphins and
White
lags?
sides too.
Cordell Bank, but nobody goes out there for commercial whale watch operations.
Well, no, I'm just saying like the world. Like, I don't like Azores, maybe
Antarctica.
Antarctica, I guess.
Azores does not get baleen whales in abundance like that.
Plus, anywhere you go, it's so
Yeah,
any
that's
other
true.
place you go is gonna be a seasonal thing, like
Mhm.
very seasonal to like the point of like you only get so much time there.
Yeah, like New England, I'd say you could get big aggregations of humpbacks like that. And then especially in the spring, you could get sei whales or fin whales or North Atlantic right whales. But
You know where I think they have a
it's
lot of
pretty
humpbacks
fleeting.
is the thing is up in Washington, like they don't go out of they don't go way out into the open ocean that
Yeah.
much.
No,
Like,
no.
and they're on the strait, and so
If they went out of the Strait of Gibraltar, they'd be.
yeah.
Strait
And
of
so
Gibraltar, that's in the Mediterranean.
Wait, what did I say?
You mean the Strait of
Strait of
Juan de
Fuca.
Fuca.
Yeah, sorry.
So, anyway,
You're in
so
Spain
all
of
of
a
our
sudden.
all of our brains are everywhere today.
so if you go out there, I think that because they have humpbacks like all the way out of the strait there, and so I think that if you push further out, there might be dozens and dozens of humpbacks, but the weather starts to get rough out there, and a lot of them whale watch on smaller boats.
That's where they think all the residents are showing up now.
Well, they're all off Oregon too. If you read the
Yo,
news.
my passengers today and yesterday, I don't know, whoever they went out to Oregon, they must follow some pages up in Oregon too. But for some reason, they said they heard there was killer whales all over Oregon
It's
right
been
now.
all over the Oregon news coverage.
Huh?
Really?
So is that where they're all at?
Who are they?
I've been saying this for years.
Well, yeah,
That's
we know
always
that.
Where they
Yeah,
are.
but you can say that doesn't mean
Like,
it's true.
Just because we
It
think they're
is
there.
true.
Well, it's stupid and they're idiots.
So are we gonna rent a boat out of Coos Bay, Oregon, or
No.
Dude, I don't even want to. I can't even spell that or take my
How about-
boat there.
how about Newport, Oregon?
Nah,
I
dude.
just the weather is
Too close
just
to home.
so touchy. The
Dude, there's
weather is
nothing in
so
Oregon, is
touchy
there?
What are you talking about?
Dude, there's probably
Oregon's-
everything in Oregon.
No, I'm just saying, like, it's
Think
just
about it.
like trees, right?
Think about why we have so
Huh?
many whales here right now, because it's been nonstop windy and rough.
Yeah.
That's why there's all the whales are probably in Oregon, and we just don't know it because it's nonstop windy and rough always.
Well, and there the shelf drop off is further offshore. So like in Monterey Bay, because the canyon's so close to shore, you see all the wildlife there. But if you can get out to the shelf drop off the Oregon coast, that's where it's all happening. But can you get a boat there?
Thank
It's
you,
not
Colorado
that far,
River.
but like it's rough.
Thank you, Colorado River.
It's all thanks to the Colorado River, dude, that our life is just complete.
Our life is good.
Think about how lucky we are to have all these whales.
That's what I'm saying. Like, Monterey is just off the.
Not
freaking
even that they're
charts.
like, I'm saying, even if they were just at the edge of the bay, like even if we had to go 10 miles, like that's crazy. But like,
Yeah.
yeah, okay, right now, a professional baseball player would be able to hit a whale from the beach, like no problem.
Not
probably.
even
I could
a
hit a whale from the
professional.
beach.
I
Yeah,
could
I
hit
could
a
do it.
whale from the beach.
Can't even see my muscles because they won't show up on this green screen.
It's like Uncle Rico on Napoleon Dynamite. Throws football over those mountains.
Dude, land
And
right in a
throw
blowhole.
baseball at the whale.
Can you imagine it lands in a blowhole, dude? And just,
No, that'd be
That's
messed
a
up.
Seinfeld
That's
episode, dude.
sad.
no, it wouldn't be sad, dude. They'd love it.
Freaking shoot it right back out.
All right, well, Slater, what have you seen that Caitlin hasn't seen? Like last night.
I mean, yeah, we've been seeing the same thing. Humpbacks, Rizzos, whitesides, and then the only thing different that I've seen is I went out last night at sunset with Chase actually, and we
Chase who?
had a beautiful time.
Chase
No,
Chase-
he always every time I say his last name, he goes, "Dude, why do you always say my last name?"
I know.
Because I do that to you too. I go Adam Ernster. And
Yeah.
so I'm not.
Wait,
saying
you
his
should
last
say
name.
you should say Adam _ Ernster for me. You should say Chase Decker Photography for him.
So
Chase Decker Wildlife and Images.
Anyways.
there was okay. I had to tell you something about last night. Actually, I guess regardless of the engine, you couldn't even hear my engine anyways. But I don't remember shutting. I think we shut down and we just sat there. There was 1,850,000 shearwaters, humpback whales, gulls, everything, and they're blowing, spouting, whatever. No, there was no noise on the ocean. He was like, "We're gonna
What?
die." He was like, "Something's gonna happen. We're gonna die," because it didn't make sense. There was no, dude. You have to see all these videos we took. I mean, we're just covered in shearwaters, like it's a tornado around us, and there's whales, and we couldn't hear a single sound. It
What?
was
How
the
does that make
weird-
sense? They
I
weren't
know,
squawking like they
nothing,
normally
no.
do.
Nothing.
The
and, like,
shearwaters when they're in flight don't really
I think
make
because
a
it was
lot
they're
of
flying.
noise.
But then when they were all, then later in the evening, I went live and they were all laying on the water and we like pulled up to them in the boat because we were actually following a whale that we were hoping was going to come up underneath and scare them, which it did, but not where we thought. And that's when they were all going like,
Yeah, when they're sitting and when they first start to take off, they'll all make their little noises. But once they're up and moving, they don't make any noise.
I mean, no gulls, nothing. Like it was the weirdest thing. Everyone was quiet and we were just like, this.
Yeah, the
is
gulls are all roosting, trying to flip and build their nests on everybody's boats.
just yours, dude. I don't have that problem at all.
No, because your boat's too short next to the.
Hey! My boat's
No,
a
one
boat.
tried to sit on your radar this morning, and I scared it off. But it was like testing how comfortable it was.
What on mine?
Yeah, on yours.
Better not, dude. There's bird poop on my bow this morning.
That was my fault.
Yeah, I think you shot it off onto my
I
boat,
told you I tried to clean it.
dude. Because I was like, this doesn't look like a perfect. This was like a splat. Like this wasn't like it was like
I
a little bit of
know.
spray on
I
the front
had
of my
to
boat.
scrub the boat this morning before we could even put people on because it was so messy.
Dude, it was clean when I left it last night.
I'm sorry.
No, I'm just kidding. I don't really care. I usually wipe everything down in the morning. No matter what, something's gonna be on my boat in the morning. Like,
Yeah.
just the way the world works.
Yeah.
Science and stuff.
So when the whales have been lunge feeding, like they're not very good at it.
Yeah, I literally I
showed-
sent Kate that message today. I was looking at her video and it was like giant school of anchovies
Yeah, like
bubbling
a
to the surface, and it was like
100
one
yards
whale
today.
goes sideways and one goes vertical, like
Well, but it'll
100 feet
also
away.
get like 100 yards worth of anchovies startled
Yeah.
and like still not break the surface.
yeah.
So like, what is going on down there?
I showed Adam the video I took yesterday, and like actually looking back on it, it is so insane. I mean, it's like a 1 minute video of them just going, the anchovies
Yeah.
It's like a
boiling at the
football
surface,
field worth of them.
and then no whale lunges. But the funny thing is after like literally it was like a 30-second delay, the anchovies went or like disappeared, and then it lunged actually after I saw the video.
Makes
But
no
it was like
sense.
But it completely settled down, and then it randomly just came out. That one whale, there's one whale that has all black tail with like those barnacles, like perfect little yellow barnacles. Like it's got like a couple of them spread out. That whale's a good lunger. That's who we had lunge feed last night into the sunset, and it was beautiful.
Yeah, if you get a pair of big adults, they'll get pretty consistent and you'll get a couple good lunges out of them before they move to their next patch of fish. But I've had a lot of young whales around still, and they're just like not really.
It's so
coordinated.
funny. It's so funny how uncoordinated they are.
Yeah. It's
Today there was
interesting,
big
like-
ones.
Yeah, there was a lot of big whales today. But like even like Captain Nick, he's been out on the ocean like 60 plus years, right? He's like in his late 70s. And he said that to me years ago. He's like, yeah, those young whales, the big whales don't want to feed with them because they don't seem to know what they're doing yet. And like they're just too uncoordinated.
Well, last night that beautiful lunger did 5 in a row right next to it. Like, we're able to like keep it in the good light, and then another whale goes head on with it, and I was like, me and Chase were like, you piece of turkey, like we were saying bad words at it. And then I was like, dude, we can't be mean to whales, we have to be nice because they're lunch. He's like, no, I don't have any passengers on the boat right now, and I hate these whales. He's like, because he was like, it's so true. I was like, I swear to you, if they ruin it, I was like, if this one whale goes head on with it and ruins it, and sure enough, he like has to like avert his core or like change course, and then he flips around, but he ended up lunge feeding again. He ended up joining up with another whale, and I was like, oh, now he's double done. And then but then they ended up doing one lunge together, which was cool. But yeah, it's like they're going for a school, and then a little one just zooms by and takes like a little nibble out of it, and they're like, damn it, dude, it was a perfect circle,
You're
and you
messing up
ruined
my
it.
technique here, dude. Yeah.
No, I don't think that. I really think there's actually so much anchovies from top to bottom that's why they're not lunge feeding out of vertical.
Yeah, I think
But
so
they're just
too.
And if you think, I bet if we went and looked and mapped all the spaces where they're actually getting higher lunges, it's when they're in either the deeper water or I don't know, it's either deep or shallower, I bet. Like, because they seem to push it into an area and then they'll do like a vertical one. And then when it's out there, they seem to do it. I don't know. I'm just making stuff up, but I bet you if we mapped it out, like according to the way the bottom is right there, it'd be different.
According to
Science.
my calculations.
According to, the bathymetry and all that.
I think the tide has something to do with it too.
True. Well, that was a big thing last year. It was like every day, right at like 2:00. It was like right when the tide started going out or going out. I don't remember what it was at that time of year, but that was happening, that they were lunging.
Yeah, because yesterday you could see like the freshwater mass sitting next to the open ocean mass, and they were lunging right on the edge of it.
Love it, live it, learn it.
We also had 2 juvenile whales the last 2 days that have stuck together as little buddies, and they've been very weird and like rowdy with each other, like touching each other. And then like yesterday they were both flipper slapping next to each other, and I swear they
Keep
hit
your
each other a
hands to
couple
yourself.
times. I thought they were gonna high five midair because they were back slapping so close to each other.
That'd be dope.
And one of them is the one that I took a selfie with while it was breaching the other day.
Oh,
And
nice.
I can tell it apart based on its flipper because it has a hole in its left flipper.
Nice. I love that.
Cool.
Yeah. So
Love
and lots
that.
of killer whale teeth marks on the tail.
Ooh.
Hey, did you see that whale that has tons of white scarring all
Looks
over
like
its
a
back?
Dalmatian. Yeah.
Yeah, but it's not like rake mark scarring. It's like just
No,
like
it looks like a
it
gill
looks like
net or
a bunch
something.
of snails went by or something too.
It kind of
I'm serious.
it kind of looks like a gill net to me, like gill net scars. Like it had
Snail,
a
gill net, same thing.
whole thing wrapped around it at some point because its tail's kind
Poor
of messed
buddy.
up too. But I haven't gotten a great picture of its fluke. I have like one halfway good one. But yeah, I was trying to take a bunch of pictures of it yesterday because it was around a lot yesterday.
I have so many flukes, dude. I don't think I'll ever look at them.
We also saw Amiga, who apparently got
Yeah.
friendly with everybody a bunch of times last year. And she has
Yep.
like a pretty distinct tail with two big tears from an entanglement. She's seen off Cabo San Lucas.
That whale last year, Kate was in front of the harbor with it, and I like stopped a couple hundred yards from her. Like I was like, I don't want to ruin it, and she was like, oh, like whatever, and she was already out. Like I don't know why she was out before me actually. Oh, I was by myself. I didn't have a trip, but yeah. So I stopped, and I'm just watching her with the whale, and then it goes down, and then it comes up right under my boat, and I was far away, and it scared me so bad because, like, I was that far away to where it's like it's not gonna just come to me, and then it just came over, did its thing, then it went back to her, and like a couple days in a row, we had like we were looking for that whale because it kept coming over to us, so that's cool.
Yeah.
And then it just hit it to Mexico and left us in the dust.
See ya.
So okay, so we're gonna talk about some more details about the humpback whales we see in California because a new technical memorandum came out from NOAA. And
What the heck is a technical memorandum, Caitlin?
basically, it's like a report that comes out. It's not like a published scientific paper necessarily. It's more like a management. It is a scientific paper, but it's to directly inform management.
There's no
So-
pictures in here.
No, there's like no.
Dang, I'm not
hardly any
reading this
graphs,
thing. No pictures.
photos.
I'm out. All right, catch you guys on the next podcast. It's been real.
Anyways.
Peace.
So I went through it and I'll break it down for you. But basically, it's hot off the press. It just came out this past week. And it's a collaborative effort between a lot of people that we know, obviously, because we have whales in common with these people. But it's NOAA, Cascadia Research Collective, a couple different universities, including Oregon State University,
Whoa.
Happy Whale, and then local research groups from southern Mexico and Central America. And it's the title of it is Abundance of Humpback Whales Wintering in Central America and Southern Mexico from a One-Dimensional Spatial Recapture Model. So
Capture, recapture.
yeah, basically this is old and new data sort of being looked at in a new lens, because the more we learn about these whales and how they move around the North Pacific, the more sure we are of some things and the less sure we are of other things. So the researchers in Mexico and Central America now think that the dividing line for the like breeding groups is Southern Mexico and Central America are one cohort. Mainland Mexico and Southern Baja are the other cohort.
That makes sense.
So it's kind of like tricky because everybody was saying, oh, Mexico and Central America. And it's like, well, there's some overlap between the Southern Mexican whales and the Central American whales. So this is like a big analysis and like remodeling with new information to try and get a better handle on how many are in each group. So right now they're called distinct population segments. And the two that are considered for management are Central America and Mexico. And that's what we see on the US West Coast for the most part. Every once in a while, we get some whales that come from Hawaii or even other places, especially around British Columbia and the Washington border. And so Washington's kind of one of those funky, like you never quite know where they're going to come
Funky
from. Actually, quite a
zones.
few of them actually come from Hawaii. So these distinct population segments can then be divided into what's called a demographically independent population. So these animals share winter habitat and feeding habitat, but they're only partially overlapping in the winter range. So they're proposing that there's a mainland Mexico group and then a southern Mexico and Central American group. So the Mexican distinct population segment includes both demographically independent populations. So that's like it's layers on layers on layers for
What if
management.
I don't know. This is crazy, Caitlin.
I know it's like it's a lot. It's a lot. So, anyways, it's important to clarify these nuances in the population though, because you really need to understand better like what habitats these whales are using and like what the boundaries are, I guess, because the two different groups are faring differently in recovery from whaling. So right now, because you have a mix of whales from all different conservation statuses, like the Central American whales are considered endangered, the Mexican whales are considered threatened. If you get a Hawaiian whale, they're in a different conservation status. So basically, they just take the most threatened status and blanket cover all of them. So right now, all humpback whales in U.S. waters on the West Coast are considered endangered because it could be a Central American whale.
Yeah.
How do you feel about that?
I have mixed feelings about it. How do you feel about it?
Well, it's like, okay, I guess it's nice to have a little blanket of like just keep them safe altogether, right?
Yeah.
I don't see a reason to not have them protected. You know what I mean? Like either whether they're endangered or not, I guess.
I guess
like, what would it change if they're not? Like, let's say they're taking off the endangered species. Can I like hug a humpback or like, you know what I mean? Like, what's going to be the difference?
Yeah, so they're still all protected under the MMPA, the Marine Mammal Protection Act, but I feel like you could pursue people that are doing harm to the environment with more like legal power if they're all considered endangered. You know,
which would not be true technically. So it'd be kind of unfair to like dust someone if that, you know, because they couldn't prove that humpback's actually endangered or not. Like,
well, it's like here in the channel, you know, we obviously have like the shipping lanes, and that's become a huge issue. However, the last couple of years, blue whales have been hit or miss. So my thought process was like, well, the humpbacks, you know, are a lot, at least for the bigger ships, they seem to be a lot more agile and they don't get hit, a lot more boat savvy, and they don't get hit by the big shipping vessels. And it's like their population here is doing really well, but it's at the same time, it's like you could have those endangered whales here in the channel. So that's why humpbacks are also considered on that endangered list for the shipping lanes, you know?
Yeah, well, I wish that they could like have a more defensible argument with that. Then, you know, if you're going to play that card where all humpbacks are endangered, okay, then why is the speed limit voluntary?
That's mandatory now.
Multiple species that are endangered in the area, like,
okay, why is there not? The thing is like you start to do this stuff, it ends up ruining it for whale watchers, right? Like that's the scary part of all of this is like there's boats that are flying in and out of this harbor right now on a regular basis. I literally screamed at a boat that definitely should know better yesterday. And the guy was like, huh? And then he literally almost hit Amiga, which was one of the 3 whales in this group that were all logging at the surface. And he missed them by like seriously 15 feet. And I was just like, how? Like, I don't know how the whales didn't move. They just didn't care. And he was on autopilot fixing his you know, gear. And I was just like, I just don't know how there's not like a thing in the harbor right now that is like broadcasted that's mandatory, like 5 knots or less, or 10 knots until you or like under 10 knots until you get out of 1 mile, at least 1 mile or to 2 miles. I would say 2 miles, honestly, because there's so many whales. I mean, literally in the entrance, there's whales like feeding or lunch feeding. I always think like, dude, today I saw like that kayaker was just kayaking by and there was a huge purple cloud next to him. And I was like, dude, like, I'm not worried that he's going to hurt the whale or anything, but I was just like,
I'm more worried the whale's going to hurt them.
That's the thing is like, I'm not even worried. Like most of the, like, realistically, if the boat hit the whale, like any of these smaller boats, they're probably not going to kill the whale.
No.
But it's like, they're going to ruin it for us and they're going to potentially kill themselves. Cause if I hit a whale doing 17 or 20 knots, it's gonna stop me in my tracks and it's gonna throw my head right into the front of my windshield or like the
Yeah.
bar or like
Yep.
something. So, and these people are, if they, especially if you're not like paying attention, like I think when people aren't whale watching, they're not like constantly looking for whales.
Mhm.
And so if you're just going full speed and you're kind of loose on your boat and you hit something, you're definitely going to be really slamming your head into something.
Yeah.
So how do you put a speed limit in front of the harbor? Like, well, you got to put a buoy out there. Like, how do you know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
how are they going to
so
get that out
in-
to all the people that only come fishing when salmon's open and then they don't ever come again?
Yeah, it's tricky because like in New England, they do have like that shifting time and space speed limit for right whales in the spring when they're sighted and when they're detected on the hydrophone. And the container ships always have a speed limit, but vessels 65 feet or longer are tracked via AIS by NOAA during those time area closures for speed. But if you're under 65 feet, you're not required to have AIS, so it's voluntary for the small boats, which is like, in some ways it's like, yeah, okay, the big boats really should be going under 10 knots, like, no question. And that's the bigger threat as far as harm to the whale. But it's like at the same time, like, I don't know, is there a way to have better accountability for the little boats too?
I'm just telling you, like, what'll end up happening is it's like this whole, like, it's goes back to the blanket of all the whales are endangered when it's technically not true. They'll just say, well, all boats can't watch whales, or they'll be like, they'll put some sort of regulation on it that's like all boats have to stay 300 yards now. And it's like, or no, what they'll do is they'll do it to the whale watchers and not the fishing boats,
Not the
and
fishing
then and
boats,
not the
yeah.
private
Like-
boats like in San Juan Island, where if you're on your own public boat, you can go as close as you want or whatever. Not technically, but you know what I mean. You can get
Yeah.
way closer
Yeah.
without a permit. But if you're, dude, like, how stupid is that? Someone that actually watches
Yeah.
them.
Well,
you can't.
so in Monterey, that was identified as an issue when we did the management plan review, like when was
4
that?
years ago.
4 years ago or something like that. And so the groups that needed more information and education were identified as like the recreational boating community, and so that was like the area of focus, and that's the information that came out of that wildlife disturbance working group, is that the whale watch companies do abide by a code of ethics and have etiquette on the water. And they've identified that not only is a private boating community can be problematic for the whales, it can also be problematic for the whale watch boats that are out there trying to abide by their own etiquette. And then private
Yeah.
boats are like just doing whatever they want around them while they're trying to work.
Hmm.
So, like the other day, we had like 3 boats around a group of whales that were being pretty good, and then this private boat just cut in between all of us, and we were like,
Yeah.
thanks, we're not all stopped here for no reason. Like,
Does it, like, when you're seeing it happen, it's crazy, huh? Like, we were in front of the harbor yesterday with my passengers, and I like get like this, I like tense up, and I'm like, oh, like, please just get past into the harbor, because it's scary.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah,
I
I guess I'm a little desensitized to it because in New England we had a couple really rough summers because the whales were so close to land, and like everybody and their
I
mother
just
owns a
don't
boat there.
understand. I don't understand how you're driving next to
How are you not
Or-
scared?
giant
Yeah.
boats and not realize what's happening in
No,
Monterey,
no.
California.
Adam, I'm literally, these whales are popping up 100 yards, 200 yards in front of them, giving them a well notice to stop or to change course,
It's just,
and they just keep going. And I'm just like, you're not afraid? Like, that thing will kill you on accident. Like,
Yep.
not only you're
you'll kill yourself using
that's what
that
I'm
thing.
saying. Like,
Yeah.
it's gonna kill. Like, you're gonna kill yourself hitting it. Like,
Yeah.
the whale's gonna be like, okay, I've seen a whale get hit by a small boat. And it was technically fine. Like,
Yeah,
you know,
the people were not fine.
but
though.
all
That
4 of
lady
the
went to
people,
hospital.
yeah, dude, they
Yeah.
like, yeah, she's gonna have like, what is that, like, therapy or physical
PT?
therapy for the rest of her
Yeah.
life. Yeah,
Yeah.
crazy,
So-
crazy.
So crazy.
Anyways, if you see a blow, go slow.
Whoa, did you make that up?
No, that's a NOAA thing. Anyways, okay,
Science.
so a little bit more background information, then we'll talk about the new data that came out of reorganizing everything. Sorry, the crows are going crazy outside my window. I don't know.
It's okay. Luna's going crazy too.
Okay, so one sighting that I thought was interesting that they had in the background information about how confusing it is to try and manage humpback whales in the North Pacific is that in a 1996 paper that was assessing humpback whales off the British Columbia and Washington state coasts, there was a Western North Pacific humpback whale, like a Japanese humpback whale, sighted over on our side of the Pacific. So
It's like that whale,
well, now what?
Top Gun from Russia.
So, and then like there are Hawaiian humpbacks in Washington too. So,
Yeah.
like if you're going to manage Washington, Oregon, California as the US West Coast, now you got like 3
Hawaii.
I got a question.
You got too much going on here.
Actually, it's more of a statement. No, just kidding. Well, I kind of think that all these whales were technically probably. No, I guess it doesn't make sense because they go to different breeding grounds.
But they change breeding grounds.
Clearly, we already know of 2 cases where they went from humpback from Maui to Cabo and Cabo to Maui. So
Yep.
I
It's
think
obviously
that they
not
used
as
to go
black
wherever
and
they
white
wanted.
as we thought.
Nah,
Yeah.
they do whatever they
yeah,
want.
no. But then like
No rules.
problem
Hashtag it.
the problem is the way our government functions and the way our management system functions right now is like we have to have some rigid black and white rules for regulations. And so like how do you try and put them in a box when they don't want to be in a box?
Oh, they don't even want boundaries or
they don't care what boxes we draw. They're like, I'm gonna do what I want.
Yeah.
the dead tail slap on the box on the line and keep going right on the
Like,
border and keep
watch
going.
this move and then just keep
Dab
going.
on it.
So right now the estimate, I think it was updated 2 years ago for both the Mexico and Central American distinct population segments combined that use the west coast of the United States is about 4,973 whales, and that's with a plus or minus of about 240 humpbacks. So
Wait, say that again.
the estimate for both populations together that use the west
Yes.
coast of the United States is 4,973 whales.
So
Humpback
typically
whales.
like our population, ones that feed. I mean, West Coast, I guess it's all just mumbo jumbo.
Yeah, so the Mexico Central America DPSs,
Gotcha.
just under 5,000 whales.
That's pretty big.
Yeah, I mean, it's a great number. It's way more than I thought. I
always say 35.
Yeah, I've been saying
Yeah.
2,500 to
I always say
3,000.
5K. Just joking.
Yeah, okay.
I don't say anything, dude.
So keep it general. These are humpback whales.
I call it how I see it, okay? There's 25 here. I don't know about the rest. I can't account for them.
Sort of adjusted the 2 groups within the distinct population segments, and they're assessing mainland Mexico as its own group and then southern Mexico and Central America as a group. They've sort of adjusted the boundaries. Now what they're seeing, which some of this we already knew, the Central American and Southern Mexican whales have a much slower birth rate and population growth rate overall than their northern counterparts. So the northern component is bigger. There's more whales.
But that's like, it's like obviously there's just less whales. It's not like they're right. Like it's not that they're not, having longer times between giving birth, right? It's just that there's less whales.
Well, no, we don't know that for sure. And part of what they're figuring out is that their birth rate is slower. So when you look at the amount of new humpbacks coming to the U.S. West Coast every year from both population segments, it's about 8.2% more whales per year. That's like a killer growth rate.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Crazy.
So how many whales is that out of 40?
I wish my retirement fund grew at 8.2% a year.
Like, I wish I had a retirement
fund.
fund.
10 years.
Adam,
I pay for my own. You can too. Plan for
your
future, people.
Yeah,
especially if you work in this industry, you got to pay for your own retirement fund.
49. How do you do the math on that?
It's about 397 whales, new whales a year.
Whoa, dude, that's at a $10 million valuation. I'm not investing in that.
So with the new assessment they did, they're finding that the Southern Mexico and Central American group is actually only growing at 1.6% a year. So that's quite a difference.
So I'm
See you
not
later,
investing in that population.
I mean, or do we need to invest more in them because they have a slow growth rate?
All right, fine. I'll start whale watching down there.
So then, basically the ratio of what we end up seeing on the West Coast, right? Like when we're looking at whales, or you're wondering like, what's the odds that it's a Central American whale? About 30% of the whales that we see off the U.S. West Coast are from the Southern Mexico Central American group. And that's about 1,496 whales.
1,496.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then your mainland Mexico group is the remainder, which is 3,477 whales.
Gotcha. I got to update my talk on my
too.
boat now. Every time I'm like, we have about 3,500 whales, 2,000 of which are from mainland Mexico, about 1,500 of which go down to
Yeah,
Costa
the
Rica.
1,500 number's right. It's just there's a lot more from Mexico.
Yeah.
So
I was half right.
the more you know.
Mine, like the
The
furthest.
more you know.
Okay, but how many whales do you have ID'd, Adam, from Costa Rica?
Not a lot. I was literally just looking.
You
at
have?
that.
Do you have one from Costa Rica proper?
I don't know.
I have
if
some
Costa
from a
Rica-
little above there, like
Yeah, I don't know.
maybe
If I have
else,
Costa
like
Rica.
Acapulco or like.
I saw one last week. I think I talked about it during the sightings report from Nicaragua.
Yeah, I think I've seen. I think I have one there.
She has a
think
really
so,
pretty
too.
whitetail.
I have one on the other side, dude, in Cancun. It's just because I'm cool like that.
Cancun.
Whatever.
Doesn't
What,
make
your
any
Iceland
sense. They
whale?
go to the,
Oh, went through the
go through
Panama Canal. Yeah, dude.
Yeah.
What are you talking about? It got stuck in there.
No, it has a lift. They upgraded the
It
lifts
just
in there.
hitched a ride on.
Lifted it
Okay,
up.
hold on.
Cruise
Let me see right now. Where's my furthest south whale? Southernmost whale. Let's see if I beat Slater.
Bro, I don't even know how to
Um,
check. So how do I do that?
You have to hit the show individual connections. Yeah, I definitely have some off of Costa Rica.
Yeah, I have one off Peru,
Wait.
dude. So I beat you.
Flopsy, aka Raggedy Ann.
Wait, she's a Costa Rican whale?
That's the tip.
Well, we all have her
tip.
too. We saw her together, so
Oh.
that
I
doesn't
saw her
help.
before all of you.
Yeah, boom.
That's like, yeah, that's the Costa Rican, definitely Costa Rican whale. And it's
'Cause I
actually
saw her,
southern
like,
Costa Rica. It actually might not even be. Is that
2014.
even still Costa Rica?
Or is it Panama?
No, it's still Costa Rica.
Adam, how do you do it? Show individual connections.
Yep.
And then what?
Then you wait for it to load because it's a lot of
takes a while.
connections.
Okay.
I have about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 whales. That's not a lot. 8 whales out of 300.
I thought you had more than that.
I have 314 individuals.
Damn, dude, it's way more than me.
Yeah, it is.
All I have to do is go through my camera from this week, but I'm never gonna do it. I'm gonna hire an intern.
South Costa
Happy whale
Rica.
for me. Just
Yeah,
so I can beat
southern
Adam.
Costa Rica too. She's been seen all over Costa Rica, actually. I mean,
That's
yeah.
Oh,
Super cool.
So that means
And we
all
saw
the people
Flopsy.
on our-
We saw Flopsy in our October trip.
Yeah, all our October people have seen a Central American whale because they saw Flopsy.
Okay, I have so many whales down there. There's no way this is right. Says I have 19 off of Costa Rica.
That's probably right.
Cool.
It's pretty basic. It's an average day for me in Monterey. Literally, mine are traveling there overnight and then coming back.
Okay, now you're just getting crazy.
Now what, Caitlin?
Dude, I think that's cool. But okay, but Flopsy's also been seen off of Cabo and Puerto Vallarta. She gets around.
Yeah, she's getting margaritas, dude. She likes them
And she was
spicy,
she
mango,
was
and strawberry.
She was getting flirted on pretty hardcore during our October trip.
She was. She's
She's a popular
she's a
lady.
sought after lady. Yeah.
She's a splash whale too, which is cool. First seen in 86. She's older than
Whoa,
us.
I have
Oh
a
my
whale. One of
God.
my whales is literally on land in Costa Rica.
Yeah, me too.
Some
Who
of you
is
had
it?
your
Someone was
coordinates a
watching
little
from land.
wonky.
It's probably the same one. It's
Oh, it could be someone watching from land.
CRC 10703.
No, mine's 11408.
Uh,
Mine's like
It-
way inland, dude. Like in the middle
Yeah,
of
so
the
is mine.
country.
Oh, maybe they put the wrong thing in. Because there's like a
Punta
natural,
Arenas.
there's a national park, like,
Punta Arenas.
well, there's
Or
this.
seen in 1992. See, like these are
Corcovado,
old
too.
whales. Old whales that go to.
Oh, there's
86.
I
Costa
see
Rica.
Flopsy. Who is,
No
oh,
wonder
this is
she's
all.
so big.
Oh, it's just see. It's Fantasia. Man, Fantasia gets around downtown.
Downtown with a frown brown clown.
Raggedy Ann, huh? What a name, yeah. Okay, so
Flopsy's
it's
better.
only a few whales. It's just a lot of those whales that I've like, dude, Flopsy's been seen a lot up and down the coast.
Yeah.
All right, cool. Well, that was an epic talk. Caitlin, way to go. Where'd you find that?
Thanks. Facebook. The Whales of Guerrero project.
Wow, dude, you're getting your
was-
information from Facebook?
Well, I see
it
the
even
news. Like
reliable?
people post
Yes.
about their papers. They're like, we just announced this new paper. So that project, it was started by Katarina Audley and a few people down in Guerrero, Mexico. And it's a local led research group, which is incredible. And the whole community is very invested in their project. She's the person that I first heard say, we have whales in common as a way to greet someone. She like did a talk in Central California and was like, I'm here to talk about our organization. And we have whales in common because we study your whales when they're with us in the winter. And so, yeah, that was pretty cool. But they announced the paper because they were co-authors on it. And so I saw it on their Facebook page. I was like, oh, let's talk about this one.
And we talked about it.
And we talked about it. So,
Boom.
Yeah.
And guess what we're
Dude,
gonna do
Flopsy's
tonight?
a cool whale.
Caitlin and I are going out on the water.
we're going to go look for whales.
Caitlin's driving.
I mean, yeah.
I'm gonna be drunk off the whales. I'm not actually gonna be drunk. Just
You and Chase are going to be high-fiving each other too much.
yeah.
Is there actually gonna be a sunset?
No, there's just gonna be lots of whales.
No, I think it's going to be a fog.
I mean,
set.
it's sunny as heck at my house, but it's gonna be sick, dude. I don't
Sunny
care.
At my house
All you
too,
need is
but it's gonna be
A couple
fun.
anchovies grouped up and one big humpback. Boom. Eat it all down. Sometimes they miss a
Well, I
couple.
hope you guys have fun. I will be here sleeping.
It's all Adam does, dude. Sleep.
I mean, sleep's important. Work-life balance. You know.
Had a
what I
bad
Yeah,
dream
dude.
last night. I didn't sleep that much.
Because you miss your
Anyways.
wife.
mean? No,
actually,
we
whenever
ate too
she's
much
out-
food before bed.
True. But both. All right, it's been real fun. If you guys are made it this far, you're kind of bosses. And I think the secret whale of the week should be Flopsy.
I think so too. Flopsy's the secret whale of the week.
I think so. 3. We should have photos of Flopsy, right? We should post them for the Instagram post.
Yeah, Adam.
Yeah. Do you have photos of Flopsy?
Actually, I don't know.
Obviously, you do if she's on your happy whale. Boom. Riddle me that.
Riddle me.
Well, do you have
splat.
a video of her?
Caitlin, honestly,
think
if
so.
the ice cream truck goes by, give me an ice cream.
20 more minutes. They will be going by every day, 4:15. So, anyways, come get an ice cream in Seaside. Otherwise, yeah, thanks for listening.
Go get an ice cream in Seaside, or actually just go on the October San Juan Island trip. Either one. Ice cream's
Preferably
getting
the
pretty
October
expensive,
San Juan
so
Island trip.
yeah, go to San Juan Island.
All right. Thanks, everyone. Bye.
Thanks.
See ya.
Bye.